All right, good afternoon, everybody. Ain't no rally like a science rally, am I right? Yeah, hi, my name's Alex Falconer. I'm a state representative for 49A, which is Eden Prairie, Minnetonka. I'm a biology graduate, and I finished almost a year of a PhD program in immunology. I know, right? Before I decided environmental protection, public policy, and politics was my calling. But science is near and dear to me and shapes how I make decisions as an elected official. Science is the bedrock of progress. Shapes vaccines, predicts storms, helps us confront crises like climate change and pandemics. But today, science itself is under threat. Across the country, policymakers are proposing laws to sideline evidence/research funding and replace facts with ideology. This isn't hypothetical, it's happening now. Yeah, and the stakes could not be higher. Let us be clear, science-driven policy saves lives. When leaders heed experts, we get cleaner air, safer medicines, and even resilient infrastructure. Yet right now, some are pushing to dismantle this foundation. Proposals to defund federal science agencies, ban research topics like climate change, and censor classroom discussion about evolution or vaccines are gaining traction. I knew I liked you guys. These efforts don't just weaken and defund labs and universities, they endanger all of us. Take climate policy. While wildfires rage and floods devastate communities, some lawmakers still dismiss the overwhelming scientific consensus. They push to expand fossil fuel subsidies, roll back renewable energy incentives, and silence agencies like NOAA and the EPA. These choices aren't harmless. They're calculated strikes against our ability to adapt and survive. When we abandon climate science, we abandon coastal towns facing rising seas, farmers battling droughts, and children breathing polluted air. Or consider public health. After COVID exposed the cost of ignoring experts, some now seek to permanently weaken agencies like the CDC and the NIH. They propose policies letting political appointees override vaccine guidelines, restrict research into pandemics, and even criticize doctors for sharing evidence-based care. This isn't about freedom, it's about forcing ideology into exam rooms and laboratories, where facts and science should reign. The next pandemic isn't an if, it's a when. And when decisions like this leave us less prepared. And it's not just federal policy. Some state laws and proposals across the country are eroding science education, banning accurate lessons on climate change, evolution, or LGBTQ plus health. Students deserve to learn how the world works, not a sanitized version designed to soothe political, religious, or ideological agendas. When we politicize classrooms, we rob future generations of the tools they need to innovate and lead and to use their critical thinking skills as adults. Why fight back? Because science is our shared inheritance. It doesn't care who you vote for. Hurricanes and wildfires don't care if you're in a red or blue state. A breakthrough cancer treatment and new vaccines can save any life. And when we cut research funding or intimidate scientists, we abandon the very people who could solve our next greatest challenges, from Alzheimer's to clean energy. But standing up for science means more than admiration. It means rejecting censorship, demanding schools teach evolution, climate, and the basic sciences without fear. Funding the future, fighting for budgets that prioritize labs over lobbyists. And voting like our lives depend on it, because they do. Support leaders who trust experts, defend data, and see science as a bridge, not a battleground. Critics say science isn't perfect, and they're right, but that's kind of the point. Science evolves, corrects itself, and invites debate. Ideology, it only digs in, denies evidence, and divides us. We cannot afford to let dogma dictate our survival. The climate clock is ticking, pandemics loom, inequity grows, but with science we have hope. Researchers engineering drought-resistant crops, doctors tailoring mRNA vaccines, and students demanding action, and so much more on the horizon. In the words of Dr. Catherine Hale, a climate scientist, the most important thing you can do is to fight climate change is to talk about it. But let's not just talk, let's act. We need to demand policies grounded in evidence, not extremism. Protect the scientists, teachers, and doctors who guard our collective future. I'm standing before you as a state legislator who really likes science, asking you to demand of myself and my colleagues, the 133 other state representatives here, the 67 senators, and our one governor, to prioritize science, scientists, and the institutions that we all depend on. Science is not partisan. It is the language of progress. Let's ensure that our speakers speak it fluently. Thank you.